All right. Took these injectors out, put these other injectors in, and with those injectors in, I've got a misfire. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these injectors out. Quick and easy, just 10 mils down here, or 10 mils on the fuel rail. Got a nut and a stud. Go ahead and loosen everything up. Got two 10 mils here. That bracket, one there, one right back here. Go ahead and pop this off. Slides forward. Same thing, slides forward. This one just pops out. Okay, go ahead and remove these two 10mm bolts. Yeah, so I guess it's just kind of common to have bad parts. I'm gonna take this 10 mil, take my fuel rail bleeder cap off. Make sure your motor's not hot, and make sure before you start your engine, you let all this fuel evaporate.
Marshmallow cereal.
Oh, no thank you. I'll eat that in a little bit. I'm working on the Jeep.
Okay, can I put it on trailer?
No, bring it inside for me, please, so the bugs don't get it.
Okay.
All right, thank you. This stud back here holds on the plug, the transmission, the torque converter sensor. You've got the one nut. Take the bracket off. Sometimes it comes off easy. Boom, take that stud off. That's the last one, securing on the fuel rail. Sometimes with the fuel rail here, I appreciate it. Sometimes with the fuel rail here, whenever you take this last stud off, it'll kind of bleed out the fuel. This is a fuel rail on a 4.0 liter on the Jeep Cherokee that I've been building. Put some Bosch fuel injectors in the inside here and actually have two misfires now, so appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're getting this last bolt out. That one back there, it's just a stud. Like I was saying, sometimes whenever you take this fuel rail off, you'll get some fuel spraying out. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Before I disconnect this, I'm going to go ahead and unplug all these. As you can see, a lot of these clips are broken off. They break pretty commonly. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. This guy right here, just kind of flop it out of the way. And go ahead and continue on. I appreciate that. Random Player 462. If you like what you're seeing and it helps you out, you know, don't forget to leave a like. That one is a little bit stuck. Like I was saying, those red clips, they break. Whenever they break, you know, don't worry about it too much. They're safety clips. After these little latches there break, I do replace the ends. Today, working on a 4.0 liter Jeep Cherokee, a 99. Going pretty well so far. We've got all the plugs unplugged, all the bolts undone for the fuel rail. I just replaced these injectors, but unfortunately got bad ones. Let's go ahead and pop this thing out. All right, got a little bit of fuel leak in there. We'll just go ahead and let it drain out a bit. Yeah, man, that 4.0 is solid. One of the best motors. I love them. I just put these injectors in and I got 2 or 3 misfires now, so oh, look at that. Maybe that was one of the issues there. All the other ones stayed on except for this one. Dang, 400. I think this one's got 268,000 miles on it. And I just did a 4-wheel drive swap on it. It was 2-wheel drive. So I did a 4-wheel drive swap, did transmission, axle, and everything. And now I'm just trying to button everything up on it, and I keep getting bad parts, you know? Seems to be pretty common. I'm hoping maybe that was the issue. Grab a rag from down here and we'll go ahead and we'll clean up that injector and see if we can inspect it a bit. Yeah, these 4.0s, they go forever. Very reliable. That's why I ended up with this one. In my opinion, just one of the better motors. Easier to work on. Everything's just, it's just better in my opinion. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I spent some time on it. I'm going to get different wheels and tires. Those things are just roll-arounds. This is a custom-made bumper. I welded everything up, did it all myself. My favorite car? I mean, in all honesty, a Dodge Viper. I'll take that V10. That thing's sweet. I like that classic muscle power. What about you? What's your favorite car? I mean the V12, not the V10, sorry. Focused on getting this thing cleaned out. I'm really hoping this is the issue. Yeah, Dodge Viper all the way. It's the way to go. Whenever I was a kid, I got a ride in a convertible. And ever since then, I've just been hooked. Yeah, that naturally aspirated power, just too good. Not really seeing anything wrong with this. An old C4A, that's still a good choice though, I'll tell you what. Still some raw power right there. It seems like it's okay. Hey, appreciate it. Random Player 462. You have a good day and be safe out there, man. Appreciate you. And see you later. Yeah, the C4s, yeah, they're dropping in price. They are. A lot of people are buying the wrecked ones, and then what they're doing is taking the motors and putting them in the, they're just swapping them, putting them in things because they're just getting cheaper. And that electrical system and everything like that's just a lot easier to introduce into other vehicles. All right, I don't really see any other issues. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take all of these out. Yeah, literally just robbing them for the LS because you could just bolt it into pretty much anything. I see them putting in those short body Jeep Wranglers, stuff like that. And they just do wheelies. It's pretty crazy. I was going to say a specific vehicle, but literally you just put it in anything all the time. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take out all these new injectors and I'm just going to replace them with the ones that I had in there and hope for the best. We'll see what happens. Oh, great. Did I drop a clip? I might have dropped a clip. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I believe the clip was loose on the third injector and it didn't allow it to latch onto here. No, it was the fourth injector getting the miss, so I believe this is the fourth injector. And that's why I'm kind of just going to go ahead and replace all of them. I'm just going to put the old ones in. These ones were working just fine. They weren't as smooth as they should have been. But I think we'll just go ahead and swap them. I believe that's the third. 1, 2, 3. I don't think that's... I'd have to look at cylinder orientation, but if I remember correctly, it was 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Yeah, I was thinking about swapping the injector, but I know for a fact there's another miss in another like cylinder somewhere. I just couldn't trace it down because I wasn't getting a check engine light. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Possibly the plug, huh? I could see the contacts there. This top was like taken off, but it slides on the wires, so it doesn't really pull on them. And the wires themselves aren't very tore up either. Yeah, I had the live data scanner on there, and unfortunately it was saying all of them were just fine. Saying all the cylinders were fine. Even the one that was misfiring with the check engine light, it was still saying it was fine. And the Jeep was just running like garbage. So the spark plugs were just replaced not too long ago, and I know they're pretty decent, but my one concern was one of the spark plug wires was actually running crossed over this one, and you can see how it's kind of wore down into it. So I moved it, and it actually improved how this thing was running. Which one was it? It's one of those wires was crossed over. But I think I may end up pulling the spark plugs out and rechecking the gap and everything and just making sure I didn't foul a plug either. If I remember correctly, those are the NGKs, so they should be pretty decent. I can't really tell in there. So I had the single hole injectors. I did the exhaust manifold because it cracked. Whenever I did the exhaust manifold, I checked all the injectors. They were all cracked. So I replaced them with these cheap ones because I could get them next day. These were like the $50 Amazon cheap ones. And then I ordered these Bosch ones, which took like 2 weeks, and they were like 300 bucks. So with these cheap ones, it was running decent, but it wasn't running quite right. And it had like no low end power. I mean, this thing should be able to spin those tires like nothing. It was kind of bogging. So I figured it was the injectors themselves. So waited for the Bosch ones, went ahead to put these Bosch ones in, and now I'm getting like random misfires, I guess you could say. Don't really know where the misfire is. I know 4 is misfiring because it came up on a check engine, but I know there's another one misfire because it kind of like boom, 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 boom. You can kind of hear it, if you know what I mean. The live data was saying it was just fine, which was weird. It wasn't showing a misfire or anything on the live data. It's a good question. I'm not 100% sure how old it is. Yeah, it could be fairly old. I believe this is the regulator on the fuel rail. I believe, oh look, this one just fell out too. Nice. I don't know. I think there's something wrong with these injectors, to be honest. Oh, really? Did you have an issue where, so like, it was weird because it was running fine. I swapped the injectors and run like crap. Not like crap. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You can always tell whenever your engine's running right or not running right. And this thing was not running right at all. But with these Bosch injectors, it's running even worse. And I got all the fuel injector ports clean. Whenever I put this thing together, I made sure everything was clean, checked the valves. The valve seals were leaking a little bit of oil, but not enough to be concerned about anything. And then as far as everything else went, it looked pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Just bogging on the low end. I mean, idling and everything like that, running just fine. Mid-range RPM. But just weird bog on the low end. And these injectors just straight misfiring. So, I don't know. Like I was saying, it seems to be a common thing where brand new parts are just not good anymore. And it's crazy because, like I said, I just built the front end on this thing. And just building it, I mean, it's got a couple 100 miles on it. Like, that's insane. Crazy. So, oh yeah, and then, of course, I got this plate in the bushing. Oh, I can't move it by hand. That thing slaps around too. Yeah, and that's like the heim joint itself. Yeah, yeah, rubber's definitely not like it used to be, that's for sure. Just mass produced, they don't really care. Get it out of here. Get it gone. Yeah, oh yeah, and a bunch of brand new parts failing all the time. I can't get this clip off. Yeah, this clip's on there well. Alright, so I've got them all out. I'm going to go ahead and just throw the other ones in and kind of hope for the best. Hopefully these are still going to work fine. I guess the main difference that I see here is the top. The top of these are a bit cleaner than the top of these. You see that? That one looks all right. Doesn't matter. I'm going to send these back. I'm not going to use those at all. Yeah, I was thinking that as well, but they shouldn't be. I mean, how are the $50 injectors working better than the $300 injectors? That's just crazy to me. Watch this whole time. I actually just fouled the plug or something. I'm gonna go get my fuel rail tool. I'm gonna pull this whole thing off. It'd be my luck. It would be my luck. And everything's seating on there pretty well. Can't do it with one hand. Maybe if I use the right hand, I could do it. If it is a plug, oh well, I'll do them later on. It's just crazy how the problem kind of transferred over there like that. Oh yeah, and then of course last night, my toolbox was open just barely. And the rain went right in my box. Got everything nice and wet. Probably rusty. Yeah, nice and rusty. Alright, fuel rail tool. Yeah, I should have checked. Should have checked it. But I just got busy, you know. I was excited to put these new injectors in. Got them in, and then what do you know? Doesn't even work. Alright, let me try and get this real quick. See if I can put the camera in a decent spot. Nice. 5.0 in the Range Rover, huh? That'll be a fun build. You doing any performance upgrades, or you just doing an OEM rebuild? I feel like if I try to open this up, probably gonna end up causing problems. So I'm gonna leave this closed for now, and I'll see maybe if I can just order this whole thing as an assembly, or maybe I have to order the whole rail. I guess we'll find out. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Supercharge everything. It's a way to go. It's a little difficult with one hand. What? I think it was over there in the other nest. Dang, $80. That's a steal. Might as well go ahead and do that. Do you have factory tuning, or do you have to do aftermarket tuning for that? Yeah, there you go. Smart. Easy enough. Whenever you're done with it too, you'll know it's all done by you, so you'll be a little bit more proud of the work. Uh-oh. The other thing I noticed with these injectors and these injectors is that this line right here, look how high up that line is. Wonder, because I would love for these Bosch ones to work. They're the 12 hole and these are the 4 hole. Wonder if interesting. So, I mean, this clip, like where this clip goes, I almost wonder if there's supposed to be a spacer here, so whenever I tighten everything down, just didn't allow it to seat correctly. I'm tempted to put this back in there and try it, but I also don't want to waste the time of doing that. Oh yeah, that's true. You might have to swap your main harness out, huh? That's a good point. So I'm actually probably not going to do this, because now that I'm thinking about it, all of these injectors, they all had the clips on them. Every single one of them. So what are the chances that even though all 6 of them had the clips on, only one messed up with placement? I'm almost thinking that there's still one bunk injector in there, and we just shouldn't even waste our time doing that. So we're going to skip that. Let's get this clip off. I lost you there for a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I would love for these to work. I believe they're OEM Bosch. Maybe they're really not. Maybe it was something with the distance of this being in there, but with only one of them misfiring and all 6 of them being mounted the same way, I would almost have to say that it's kind of like a guarantee that that one is definitely a bunk injector, and it wasn't so much of the clips causing the issue as just that injector's no good. Now for me to figure out exactly which one it was, I don't really remember, but yeah. Yeah, there's a chance that I'm right with the injector placement, but there's also a chance that I just go ahead and waste some time. There's also a chance that it's something with this diaphragm. But one thing's for sure is these were not misfiring. One of these were misfiring, one or more. So we're just going to kind of stay away from that. That way we don't have to worry about the misfire. Hope for the best. I'm thinking bad parts. Bad parts. There's no way a $40 set of injectors should fit and feel and run better than a $300 set. Alright, everything's good. Usually I'd go ahead and oil all the O-rings on these, but they're still pretty wet. I took them out earlier today. Alright, sorry. Needed both hands for that. Multimeter and test for ohms or voltage drop across injectors. Yep, that's a good point. That is probably what I'll need to do. I'm definitely going to be ohming those injectors before I send them back. That way I could send some information to the company that I got the injectors from and let them know, hey guys, look, this is what's going on. These are problems I'm running into, and see, maybe they'll give me some support. Maybe they'll give me some help. You know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It'd be nice to get some help or some support with those injectors since they were so expensive, but I'm not really expecting much. Alright, we'll go ahead and seat these in nice and firmly. Whenever you're seating the rail in, you want to make sure you push it down evenly on both left and right side. Yeah, I agree. I appreciate that, Alan. That'll be helpful. I'm going to use that information, like I said. I'm going to do an ohm test on all 6 of those, and if I find discrepancies within that, I'm going to send that to Bosch. I'm pretty sure these are just straight Bosch injectors. I think it was a what was the name of the company? K Suspension, maybe it was. I think it was K Suspension I ordered them from. I'll have to verify that information, and then, like I said, get the data and send it to them whenever I find the issues, because there's definitely a bad injector in there. Go ahead and run these down by hand, and the one thing I like to do is make sure all of these flanges are set down completely. And whenever you're making sure they're set down completely, pretty much verifying that the O-rings are all seated and you're not going to cause any damage to anything by pressing down too hard, pinching or kinking anything. Got a bolt swap there. I will do a fuel rail pressure test and see if maybe that FRP back there, just like the monster said, maybe that's the issue as well. It's a good possibility that that guy right there has failed. So I'll check that as well on the live data, or if I have to check it manually, I'll do that as well. So appreciate that. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you for all the help and all the input. I'll definitely be reaching out to you if I need anything, and I appreciate the sub. You have a good one and be safe. All right, pretty much got everything lined up. Easiest way, pull vacuum. Okay. Nice, I appreciate that. I'll definitely be checking that. Thank you, appreciate it. You have a good one. I appreciate all of the helpful suggestions, everybody. It's awesome. Any help is appreciated. I'm sure you guys know engines and vehicles. Sometimes they cooperate, other times, pff, good luck. This is one of those times for me, and oof, I almost lost that one. It's one of those times for me, like I was saying, it's just been bad part after bad part with this thing. Can't seem to catch a break, whether it's bad injectors, O-rings, whatever it is. I got to do some shift solenoids on this thing next, so that'll be the next little project that I got going. I was hoping to get these injectors all swapped out and get this thing running smoothly, but you know, just like I said, sometimes you get what you hope for, and other times, well, you're just fighting the good fight. Alright, cool. So we're going to go ahead and run all these down now that we've got them kind of threaded on by hand. Be gentle, steel into aluminum. Alright, and then we've got the bracket back here for the transmission torque solenoid. Sorry about that. That's the bracket right there. Last 10mm nut. I mean, even if this thing just runs like it was before, I'll be happy enough. Get with the company on the injectors and hopefully reach a solution on that. A little bit of downtime's not too big of a deal. The phone's having a hard time focusing. Hold on, let me try and clean the lens real quick. Hey, maybe that'll help. Alright. These connectors are getting wore out. Not a big deal if they're broken, it's just a big deal when they don't connect anymore. This one I'm kind of concerned about because the top of that plug. Yeah, what you need help with on that manifold swap? I'll definitely give you some tips. Yeah, that plug on the top is just, I may end up having to replace this plug. We'll see. It wasn't misfiring before, so I can't really condemn the plug, but it may be an issue. This area they got here is just not ideal for my big old fingers. And how you doing, Ultra Pro? Glad you joined us. Yeah, and if you got some questions, you just let me know, and if I can help, I definitely will. Sorry about the angles of the camera, I'm not paying attention. My fault. We're just getting the last few old injectors hooked up on this 4.0 liter Jeep Cherokee. I swapped the previous injectors, the ones that are in there now. I swapped with these Bosch injectors, but we had a failure of 2 of them within just a few minutes of running. So I've got to ohm these injectors out. Thanks to Alan, he did recommend to ohm them out. I'm going to go ahead and ohm these injectors and see if I can verify what's going on with that data. And if I can, perfect. I'll send that information over to where I bought the injectors. We'll see about getting replacements sent out. I'm sure they're under warranty, and I'm sure they wouldn't mind giving me a hand. But for now, the old injectors that were doing what they are doing, we're going to go ahead and use them. Verify everything's hooked up. All right, all injectors are hooked up, throttle plate's hooked up, all of our lines, all our 10 mils are tight. Sensor's hooked up in the back there. Fuel rail's hooked up, connected, good to go. Let's go ahead and start her up. Alright, still got a bit of a shake. We go ahead and reset all of our values. Error, no problem. It's definitely already smoother than it was before, so we know that's pretty much taken care of. We'll reset all our values. Yeah, so already feeling much better. Zero misfires. Yeah, she's running way smoother. A bit of a hiccup, probably with some air in that fuel rail. But, I mean, you should have seen those other injectors. It was insane. Those other injectors are making that thing jump and buck around. I couldn't even do anything. There's a suspension, upper lower control arms of shifting, camber lock it. Yeah, so anytime you do more than like an inch of lift or leveling of any type, what you're gonna want to do is change your drop of your ball joint. So really, I mean, the camber caster lock kit's really not going to help you. Your best options are going to be to lower your ball joints down to the same angle as where your lift kit's putting everything. So you just need those A-arms, or not A-arms, or those hubs. I don't know what they're exactly called. If you have independent front suspension, which I'm sure you do if you have an F-150, you need those hubs that lower everything down. Extended control arms on the front. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a way to do it, but if you just extend the top, you don't extend the bottom, you're probably just going to cause an issue. I would look at the hubs. They have hubs with drops on them, or figure out a way for you to drop that. Really, you just need the hubs. Here, I got an F-150 right here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's hard to explain. And this one has a leveling kit, has a puck on there. There's not so much as yours. I believe it's only a 1 inch. And then you can see my angle is just, it's terrible. That ball joint is not good. Yeah, correct. So with the upper A-arm right now, you can see that thing shot. Like, that's not a good angle. The lower one's not as bad. So what they do is they sell this hub right here that's just 2 inches longer right here at the top. You could even take it to a machine shop and have somebody cut and lengthen that. And if you can get this 2 inches longer, it's going to correct the angle of your ball joint. If by doing anything else, I mean, you can extend your A-arm, you can do all that, but then you've got to start changing this. That's where it gets a lot more expensive. So if you can just get this longer, you'll pretty much be better off. I've seen machine shops cut them and lengthen them. I know they sell aftermarket ones that are just longer. That's all you got to do is get this guy about 2 inches taller. But that angle, if yours looks anything like that, this thing's not going to last long. I know that's not going to last long. And I'm not too worried about it. I think maybe it is a 2-inch puck. Might have the same size lift as you do. Limited alignment. I don't know. I honestly, I have to look. This is just 2-wheel drive, and I don't really care if it kind of has an issue And if things start to fall apart on the front end, I'll just rebuild it, and I'll probably fabricate something to bring this up. I'm not sure what the kit's called, but it should just be like an extended hub or a 2-inch lift hub. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. Don't quote me on that. But all you need to do is extend this guy right here. That's it. Oh, camera doesn't want to focus. That guy right there. Your 4-wheel drive, yeah, so same concept applies. The only difference is I just don't have a CV axle right here, and your shock, I think, has that, like that U mount around your CV axle, or your shock is somewhere else. Yeah, that's what you're going to want to do. Extended hubs for the 2 to 4-inch lift, and then the upper control arms as well is probably the best bet, especially if you've already been riding around on your control arms and your upper ball joints with that kind of a lift. So I'm going to guarantee you they're wore out. Alright, so we got 3 on 3. That's the one with that plug, the bad plug. So it looks like I'll be replacing that plug. Everything else good to go. Yeah, of course, then align again. Always want to do an alignment. You don't want to go tearing up your wheels, not worth it. Wheels are too expensive, that's for sure. All right, that pretty much takes care of that. That'll be the end of this little project. Like I said, I had already swapped it once, and now we're here swapping her again. The reason spark plug's getting oil on it. Now, if the spark plug's getting oil on it from the outside, right? We're talking about the outside where the ceramic is, where the spark boot goes. That's a bad valve cover. If a spark plug is getting oil on it from the inside, you got bad valve seals or bad piston rings. Usually it's valve seals because you won't catch the oil on the rings. It'll burn up before you can really catch it. Yeah, you could do a compression test for sure. If it's on the inside, again, if it's on the outside and his valve cover, you got to verify, make sure, you know, he knows what he's talking about. The compression test might be able to tell them, sometimes it won't, and it could just be the valve seats on the top where the head is, and those aren't too bad to change as long as you know what you're doing. Oh yeah, she's running good. We just did the 3-inch Old Man Emu lift on the rear with the shackle relocate kit, and then the extended shackles. That way we get good range of motion. I had them back here, and I may put them back again. We'll see exactly what I decide. Going good. All right, everybody, I appreciate y'all for coming in. Ultra Pro, leave a comment, hit subscribe. Let's chat some more about what you got going on. You got any questions? Let's get it going. I appreciate you for coming in and joining us. Y'all have a good day.